Welcome back, family, to another episode of Pitch Practice, the show. My name is Mark. I'm the guy behind the mental marketer in the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101. Thanks for tuning in. I help business owners and entrepreneurs leverage the power of sales funnels to grow the lifestyle business of their dreams. All right.
Good morning, Brandon here with BK X Squared Marketing. I supplement Mark's work by helping business owners fix their digital foundations to make those sales funnels work and get you found and help you to the top of the local market.
I like that.
You got me, the one's always improving, always self-actualizing, and more than anything, always helping you find a great franchise opportunity.
All right. All right. Hey, I didn't tell you this week, Laura. Someone, I can't believe someone actually approached me in my DMs about a franchise.
Really?
Yeah. Probably, I think probably someone in your network. Ooh, not to not to just stir the pot or anything,
Huh.
but
I get them all the time. I get franchise messages all the time. I just say no, thank you. Not this time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How is everyone doing today? We're getting into the 100 million offers. So we're past that first chapter, and we got a little bit into the, well, yeah, I won't say we got a little bit. How far did we get, Brandon?
I mean, we covered chapter 2, which is pricing and how pricing can make or break your business when it comes to growth
Mm,
or maintaining. And the premise behind this chapter was
hmm
if you're not growing, you're dying, and there's no such thing as maintaining. Um, Alex goes in and states that the stock market grows on average about 9% a year. So if you did at least that, then you're kind of okay, but that's more maintenance than anything because you may have to grow 20 or 30%, per year to actually see real results and
mm,
actually make a dent in the universe.
right, right. To me, I think it looks like Laura's stuck down there.
Yeah, Laura's frozen.
Yeah, she's stuck. It sounded to me like he made the point where you're either growing or dying. You're either growing or dying, right?
Right.
Yeah, either you're growing or dying. Those are the biggest things that I got out of it. Um, you're either growing or you're dying. There's only three ways to grow a business, and that's get more customers, right?
Right.
Increase your cart value per customers,
Right.
or get your existing customers to pay you more often.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's really it's three fundamental things because the whole premise behind having a business is getting as much cash as possible and squeezing as much water out of that rock that you can. I know that kind of sounds
That's squeezing
uh,
water out of the rock, right?
I know that kind of sounds I'm trying to think of the word here.
uh,
Uncouth and not nice, I guess, is the best way that I can put it. But yeah, I mean that's basically what needs to happen. And in dealing, I primarily try to deal with service-based businesses to where their most of their offers are commoditized. Do you have a plumber or electrician that charges a flat rate per hour instead of per job type deal,
hmm
then
hmm
it turns into a commodity. It's like how cheap can you go, hourly to be able to win the bid, So
hmm
and that's with anything. And the example he put in the book is for digital services,
hmm
in the sense that, you pay. the $1,000 a month plus ad spend to get clients, and because everybody can charge $1,000, you then become a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
And then he flips the script and go for a performance based, in the sense that $1,000, or sorry, increases the price for one. Two, adds additional work to the offer, meaning that they'll literally do everything for you. Get the calls booked, sell the call, etc. Where you don't pay. You still got to pay for the ad spend, because ad spend is ad spend, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally two different models there that would set you apart from your typical agency, in the sense that
Right. Is Laura stuck again?
Yeah, Laura's stuck again. She needs to get some better cell phone service, I guess.
Hey, Laura.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can hear you. What did you take away from this chapter on pricing today?
That you do have to have great pricing to grow the business, and there has to be margins to have real ROIs. If you're going to build an offer, it might as well be a Grand Slam offer, right? Sometimes it seems like more expensive offers with more services are better than super cheap services. So it's not, that goes back to what Brant always tells me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Price is a myth. And it's true, because it's about value. It's about value. So you're better off having a super expensive service and product that does solve multiple needs, and haven't even overtakes all your objections. So then
Okay. We lost you, Laura. Yeah. Okay. It's interesting to get this. Okay, so getting the same the same concept from a different perspective. When Alex Hormozi says, if you're not growing, you're dying, that reminds me of Grant Cardone saying what? You're either expanding or you're contracting.
Right.
Then he broke down some serious numbers in this chapter, and he really kind of got granular with them too, right? Like, okay, $1,000 product if you're making $100. So he really broke some numbers down. Kind of reminds me the same way that Grant would break down his millionaire, that millionaire formula, right? Or the numbers to a millionaire. Laura, and this, what your price communicates your value. Your price communicates your value. And there's something I want to share that Myron Golden always says, and he says that if you're the cheapest, then nobody will believe that you're the best. And if you're the best, then nobody's going to believe that you'd be the cheapest. So if you were to go to, let's say, Ohio, and you were looking for the best surgeon, if the best surgeon had the cheapest price, would you believe that they were the best surgeon?
No,
in
because they'd be booked
malpractice.
out. I mean, if they were, price is usually based on several macroeconomic functionalities, in the sense that the more there is of something, the cheaper it is. The less there is of something, the more expensive it is. So in the sense of the doctor, right? In the sense of the doctor, if he's the best, everybody's trying to book him. So he doesn't have the time to do every surgery. Therefore, his awesomeness is worth more than the doctor next to him, so he can charge more. And that goes with landscapers, plumbers, roofers, chiropractors. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. Everyone's constraint is the same, and that's time.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to multiply time is to multiply the number of staff people,
Yep.
or
Yep.
charge more
Yeah.
per your
So your
hour.
so your price is communicating your value to the market. Your price is communicating your value, because if you're claiming to be the best but you're cheapest, how are you going to believe that? If I look and I saw a let's say a Rolls Royce was for sale for $30,000, what's my first thing I'm going to say? What's
It
wrong
does
with
not work.
Yeah.
It needs work.
Was it wrecked? How
what's
old is
wrong?
it? I,
What's
I've seen
wrong with
Rolls
it?
Royces for 30 grand, but they're like 30 plus years old, but
Oh,
you
really?
have that.
Wow, that's still a good deal. 30 plus years old. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So, price communicates value. And he talked about the different type of markets where you could be in, like the commodity markets where it's a race to the bottom.
Hmm. It absolutely is. And, when I was in the automotive space, that's pretty much how the market is. It's all commodity driven. It's a race to the bottom. It's who can sell the car for the cheapest up front. And everybody knows dealers make their money on the back end when it comes to financing in the service department. But that's the stark reality when you walk into a car lot, and what the customer expects is to buy the car for bottom dollar,
Mm-hmm.
and walk out the way of winner, I guess. Um,
Really? Yeah.
and those high volume dealerships, they sell below invoice and technically don't make any money on the front end, but get it all on the back end, either from dealer spiffs or getting the financing. But
Yeah.
And I
it's
mean
not
that
good for the
also goes
salespeople.
back to that goes
Mhm.
back to like you need to know where you make your money.
Yeah.
Because there's some times that like you're not gonna make money in the front end, but it's super lucrative when it's a maintenance thing. So
Hmm.
you just gotta know where do you make your money, right?
Right. What did you find in the franchise space, Laura? How are your pricing? Uh, because okay, franchises. Well, are they a commodity? Um, when people look at getting franchises, is it the business? Could it be like, okay, it doesn't matter what business it is because it's a turnkey thing where you can just have employees. It's the same structure, maybe. What do you find?
Um, I would say it's not necessarily industry, it's more of like the how turnkey ready it is. Because there are people that have gone into business for franchises that maybe they would have never considered, but they
Mm-hmm.
were like, wow, that means you guys have a sales team, you guys have a marketing team, you guys get me all the lead gens, you guys do everything for me, help me recruit. So like what do I do? Like when you have that kind of question, when people ask you like, so wait, what would I do if I'm the owner or if I'm the operator? That's good. That means they're starting to find a lot of value. They're thinking, okay, I understand why it's this much money. Huh. I never thought about this before. So when you take more things, like those are objections we get in the franchise space, right? It's like, well, I'm not ready to start my own business. Like, how would I even do payroll? How would I even, oh, no worries. All this stuff integrates with QuickBooks, and here are the 4 reports you need, right? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and no worries. How do you run payroll? It's automatically integrated with the app. People clock in and clock out, right? So then you
Mm-hmm.
always find a way, all the objections that you have are offerings that you need to bring up front. Those are the values for your
Hmm.
offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, I know we only got a minute here left with you, Laura, but it's kind of like the Chick-fil-A franchise model. I mean, you're buying a store, but you're buying your way into senior management of that store, and that's it. The corporate takes care of everything else for you, and you split the profit share.
Yeah.
So
Before you leave, Laura, we know you have to go. Just give us your final words.
Final words. Okay. Really thankful for this group. I am going through a very stressful period, but this
Yeah.
is good. I'm stretching my growth. I'm stretching in my sales career. I will come out on the other side and I will be a better person and a better pitcher. And thank you so much, guys, for being here.
Go for it, Laura. You got this.
I'll
You
get
got
it.
it. Yeah, you got it. It's just
Okay, guys. Thanks so much again. Talk to you
great,
soon.
great seeing you. Have a
Great
great
seeing
week.
you both. Bye.
Yep, go get the bag.
Yeah, go get the bag. Hey, I got a question for you, Brandon. Um,
Yep.
you know, Dan Kennedy. He's
Hmm.
he's he says that whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer will win. That's
Yes.
that's his thing. Um, where do you think that stands with what Alex Hormozi says? Um, about making a Grand Slam offer. And Laura even made the point about you have to know where your money is made. You know, in the car dealership, was it that way? Was it more of the more that I could spend to acquire a customer? Because I know that it's really not that initial sale that's going to be profitable, but it's just acquiring a customer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the entire ins and outs of the automotive industry. I'm not saying I'm an expert with that, but just from what I've spent, 10 years into and seen two different dealerships and how they sold cars.
Mhm.
Um, majority of the profits for a dealership comes with the service. Okay. Because, you buy the car, you got to maintain it. So you got to go in for oil changes. They upsell you, in there on the brakes and the tune-ups and all that other kind of stuff as the vehicle ages. So that's where majority of the money is going to be coming from. So that's where they
Mhm.
factored in, that they can sell a car, for a couple $1,000s, you know, loss up front. They're going to make it back as, on the financing side with the interest points. So they may lose 2,000 on the front, but make 6,000 on the back and net four. So they're not losing. And then, over the lifetime of the vehicle, they come in every 3 months for oil changes at $100 a piece. Whatever the profit margins on that, $50. So, 4 times a year times 50, that's another $200 per customer just on oil changes, times 5 years. So that's another, what, $1,000 that they make, but multiply that by the total number of cars that they've sold over X number of years. And we're talking multi-millions of dollars for a dealership. And when,
Mhm.
Alex is talking about his pricing in the initial offer, for traditional agency services, you pay $1,000 retainer and you, pay for ad spend and you hope to get what you get. And if it doesn't work, well, you're not out that much money and you just move on. So you have a constant churn. But when you have an offer that takes everything off of the owner itself and helps out with the sales and helps out with the scripts and the coaching and actually does it for you, can definitely charge more than simple retainer for somebody to manage the ads. And if you throw in that if you don't have an increase, you don't pay, literally meaning you have either money back guarantee or nothing is paid up front, or you're not paying per lead or per sale, a percentage of the commission, then it's literally no risk for the client other than its general ad spend. But what that does for the agency is it gets more people in the door, more swings, more opportunities to actually work, and will increase um, your revenue, your ROAS, so to speak. So if you increase your ROAS based on your own ad spend, and you can literally outspend anybody else in the marketplace because of your offer.
Nice, nice, nice. So when you think about being able to spend the most, I think it comes down to being able to make the most.
Yeah,
Or
that
uh-huh.
that's absolutely true. I mean, if you think of all of the free plus shipping offer funnels and excuse me, that we've all seen and done and taken part of,
Mm-hmm.
We sign up for the 997 free shipping or free book deal, and what's on the next page? Well, it's an order bump. Pay another $47 and you get this additional PDF, or pay another $97 and you get all three of the books, etc. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have decent profit margins on your upsells, then your ads literally become free up front because they paid the 997 or whatever their cost per click or acquisition was initially just to get you the free offer.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the ads paid for, and everything else is just gravy on top.
Yeah, it that reminds me of my the very first funnel that I remember, and that is the uh Columbia Columbia House Music.
Columbia House, yeah,
And you're
I bought the CDs back in the day. We did it. We got the 10 or 12 CDs for $1, and then they put you on this continuity deal. And if you didn't buy the next 10 or 20 CDs or whatever, they were charging you like $100 for the first 12 that you bought.
oh
That's that was oh man, those were the days, the Wild West days right there.
oh yeah, talk about a continuity because if you didn't remember, you got these CDs that came every month and you were typically like, oh, okay, I don't even want to send it back, right? You
Yep.
you had CDs and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just keep these, and then your collection starts to grow. Next thing you know, you've got a bill that's outrageous because you're paying more than like regular retail for those CDs. I think what you're paying like what is that price that's retail price?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the overall pricing scheme, but I just know that you paid a penny for 12 CDs, and then but you had to buy an additional 10 on the back end of it. And if you didn't, then you would be charged up front for the first 12. It was crazy. Wild West back then. You can't do that this day and age, I don't think, or at least I don't see any Columbia House offers out there or magazine offers out there like that anymore. They may be doing it, but we're just not privy to it.
Maybe they're doing it. I saw an advertisement uh just yesterday, and it was for and I kind of saw it and it caught my attention, and I kind of followed it just to see where it would take me. But it was for uh okay, so maybe it's just me getting these Viagra ads, right?
What do you need Viagra ads for, Mark?
I don't know. Someone has me pixeled for Viagra. Could be because of my age. Uh and it was claiming that for a limited time you could get the pills that were normally $45 for 87 cents, and then it started saying about you know what it was, this is what it was, Brandon. It was an advertorial, you know,
Hmm.
an advertorial, and it was a native ad, you know. you uh
Gotcha.
you, you ever pay attention to those sometimes are interesting.
Yeah, I do. What's the I get the ads for the people that do those ads all the time. What Taboola, I think, is the company that's kind of behind those.
Well, that's one company, Taboola Ads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they look like they're articles, but they're actually ads. They kind of inlay in there. So I don't know if I've never clicked on one to be taken to a landing page, but I see them all the time. Um, I mean, they're interesting. Advertorials are great, um, because they kind of put the reader in I would say, a false sense of security that they don't know that they're being pitched to
Advertise.
or advertised
Advertise.
to. They just think they're reading an article about a problem they may be having, right? So,
Yeah.
um, and learning about, somebody's story, or and then what they did to overcome it, et cetera. So I mean, that's great, great advertising technique.
Oh yeah, it looks like a news article where you're reading
Mm-hmm.
about and then they'll have these doctors come on and they'll say, yes, yes. I see you'll see those before and after images. I've seen them with dogs. I've seen them with like this doctor will say, after drinking water for 30 days, look what happens to your body. And then
Mm-hmm.
that gets you interested in uh this news type article. And then when you click it, it goes to a you know, it looks like the news. And then
Yep.
it starts telling you that in order to take care of this, we've got a special shipment of 47-cent Viagra pills, and you can get them in a limited quantity of 18. See, and then here was the call to action. It was the call to action, Brandon. See if you qualify.
Nice.
How
And you know,
about
you
that?
won't see you won't only see those there online. Local news stations do the same thing. It's a similar concept, and where a company would buy time for a morning news segment to sit down and have a quote unquote interview about said problem or issue. And one that comes to mind, I watched the other night with um, what's his name from Last Week Tonight or something like that. I'm from HBO, John
Oh,
Oliver.
John Oliver. Okay.
Yeah, it was about timeshares and how that you can't get out of timeshares, you and all these other issues. And there's companies that have been formed to help people get out of timeshares to where you pay them an exorbitant fee to then they
Uh,
try to get you out of the timeshare. And so they talked about the advertorial, so to speak. They go on these morning news shows, buy the time, and state the problem, and they're the solution to it. And then it turns
so
out,
interesting. So he's promoting the get out of timeshare company.
yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
not John, not John, but he's reporting on companies forming to help other people get out of timeshares, and they buy time on these local news stations because they're local companies or whatever, and talk about the problem and say they're the solution to the problem. All right. So whether you see it online or your TV local news, you know, when you see those types of interviews that just look a little off, it's most likely an advertisement for that company. And they're not really doing, let's say they could be doing good, but they may not be doing good for you to end with. It's an advertisement. Um, and then
Would
it's funny for the example that he mentioned was like a few weeks later, the same news station was reporting against the company that went on there and paid them the money to do the um, interview-tisement, I guess is the best way to put it. It's
oh man.
funny.
And the news station will air anybody who pays them, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's 100% accurate. So
Well,
there's money involved. Figure out who the end winner is before you make final decision or final purchase.
interesting. Well, our good friend Dan Kennedy, I think, was really responsible for a lot of the Good the Rinker, a lot of the Good the Rinker infomercials that would come on. Man, those were some doozies back in the day. Uh, you
Hmm.
know, when it well, okay, so those weren't really advertorial type of commercials like the as seen on TV, but you would see these I'd say these makeup things or these makeup infomercials where and the thing is that you don't even have to really be a doctor, but if you just see them, they have on white lab coats,
Hmm.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's all about the perception of them being like chemists or whatever. I mean, anybody can throw on a lab coat and pretend to be a chemist and read a script and sound fancy. It doesn't make it true.
All you have to do is put a small letters down this or saying uh actors may be portraying these are actors portraying
Yep.
characters.
That's it. And then you're clear. Then you're clear. And the advertising world's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. But I think in the in the big overall takeaway from this chapter is about your pricing matters. Your pricing
Yep.
matters. Yeah, and
It does.
you can become a grand did he call it a grand slam offer of one, or when you
Yeah. So you have a grand slam offer or you're a commodity. That's it. And commodities don't usually win. It'll take a lot more work to be a commodity than it would to have an amazing offer. So, the key takeaway from today is look at what you can do and give as much of it as away as possible that it doesn't that it hurts, but still remain profitable.
That's it. That's it. That was it. All right. So it's been another great conversation this week. I want to throw out a few shout outs to you all out there listening in on Facebook, listening in on LinkedIn. What's up, my LinkedIn family? What's up? You're listening on YouTube. Hi. If you're listening on Twitter, yeah, we're streaming on all those channels this morning, and hope that you're out there practicing too. So yeah, that's it. You're take it out for us, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm thankful for everybody that watches here. Show us some love if you found this valuable. Sure to like and subscribe, and if you need any help, search up BKXX or the Mental Marketer, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Oh yeah, I sent you a oh yeah, that was the episode we did where we were talking about the 12 disciples. I remember I sent you that comment. We've got
Yep.
they said, let me correct you on who the disciples were.
Hey, I didn't say I was an expert, okay? And I did find out that, not all the authors of the Bible were actual disciples. Like Luke wasn't a disciple. Go figure.
all the
All right.
writers of the gospels.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke wasn't a disciple. My bad. Okay. You got me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think we could name the disciples, but yeah, we love it. Just keep it coming. Keep us honest, and give us your suggestions whenever you have them. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you all again next week for pitch practice. All right.
Take care.